a matter of.
Let's take Tyler's call real quick. We have time for this one. Hopefully, we'll get a quick answer and a question from Tyler. Go ahead, Tyler.
All right. Buddy of mine is renting a house from one of his neighbors, and he's a manager at a store, and two of his employees are boyfriend, girlfriend. So he'd allowed them to move in with him to kind of help him out and get back on their feet. Long story short, the guy he let move in with him's now, being a butt, whatever, and not picking up after himself. So he approaches him, and now the guy gets hostile, threatening to whoop him, and blah, blah, blah. If you try to evict me, I'm going to stop paying rent and make it terrible on you because by law you can't kick me out. And a buddy is the only name on the lease. How does he get his friend out of this house?
What state?
This is Alabama.
Okay, that is kind of eviction proceedings. It's very, very, very. I'm trying to be brief, guys. It's very, very, very difficult to evict somebody. But if he's not on the lease, they may can enter a trespass order against him and just consider him a trespasser.
His lease does end in the next 3 months. When he renews, is there a way that he can renew without having him in it, therefore making it easier to keep him away from the house?
Absolutely. That's all. It's all a matter of contract.
Okay, so should he just put up with it until then, basically, or
yeah, unless everybody wants to agree that he can be trespassed and potentially arrested. That's just a matter of entering something with the state.
Hey, John, we got a break. Let's come back and finish this. We'll be right back. It's Lex and Terry. Just want to let you people know Terry and I are scheming for doing something big here pretty soon. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime, John Phillips joining us right now. We got the legal hour going on, and people have all kinds of different problems.
I don't like when you two scheme.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
I
understand that.
I'll just ask one question. I want to know. Am I not involved in this? It's not a scheme against me, right?
No, you're about to be involved in it. We just opened the conversation literally 2 minutes ago.
Okay, all right.
It's nothing that's
I love when they scheme.
Yeah, it's nothing that's going to horribly affect you.
You'll be happy.
Okay, good.
All right.
Because I've been schemed against before by you two, and I did not like it.
No, we wouldn't. We would not tell you we're scheming against you.
Yeah, I have no energy to really scheme against anybody anymore.
No.
I just wanna tell Ian this because I know right now he's out of Terry's circle of trust.
I thought I got back in.
Well, you were out there for a minute.
Yeah.
No, you've ever seen those things where they like try to poke some sort of molecule back into a circle, those types of things under a microscope? Yeah. That's how close you are right now.
Yeah. See, I got out of his circle of trust one time, and I made the bad mistake of trying to play a practical joke on him with Lex, not realizing that he wasn't going to go after Lex. He was just going to solely go after me. Mm-hmm. And he just tell you, you're not going to know when it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And for like 2 years, I was just like shook.
I'm still working on it. There hasn't been. I've had like 4 or 5 different people that are supposed to get involved to keep bailing on me on this thing. Anyway, so let's go to Tom. Tom and Destin, you're on with John Phillips, attorney at law.
Glad I brought that up.
Go ahead. No, trust me, you didn't need to bring it up.
You brought it up.
It's been on my mind for a long time, D.
You got all paranoid over there. This is against me, is it?
Yeah.
But no.
I just assume it is against me, so I don't even ask.
Oh, no, I got nothing against you, Ian.
Thanks, Terry.
All right, go ahead
I don't
there,
either.
Tom.
It wouldn't stop me from doing something.
In Florida, got my friend's kid was vetted by an HR company for a pizza delivery job. Did a background check, insurance, he only had liability on his car. Long story short, he got in an accident delivering a pizza, and now the HR company is telling him that they're not going to cover him, and his insurance company says he should have had a commercial policy on his car, which is true, but now being vetted through the HR company, don't they have some reliability or responsibility for informing him correctly of what he should have had on his car?
Yeah, I mean, if he's delivering pizzas, if he was in the course and scope, is what's called, of his employment at the time of the wreck, the pizza company's liable regardless. You can't in Florida. You can't separate out of it.
Well, he actually works for the HR company, and there's, his checks come from them. He doesn't actually work for the pizza company. But the HR company.
I have no idea why pizza makes me laugh.
I know.
It's a stupid whole story, but the HR company is basically telling them to have a nice day too. They're not going to cover them.
All right then.
What was he doing when he was in the accident?
Delivering pizza.
Okay, then he should. Regardless, I mean, you feel free to give me a call. 1-800-6-NO-LAW after the show. But
he'll answer your question in 30 minutes or less.
Okay.
Yeah, can't wait to see how the dominoes fall in this case.
We could be like the Doug Llewellyns of this and write all bad little intros and outros.
Hopefully you won't upset the Godfather.
Your attorney, Papa John Phillips.
There you go.
They'll own
Tom,
everything,
give him a call.
including the Pizza Hut, when this is over.
By the way, John's doing something. You're still doing this thing, right? Getting people
sharing equals caring.
Yeah, sharing equals caring. John has a possibility, an opportunity to win $10,000 in this little competition, and all he has to do is get the most Facebook and Twitter followers. And if you do that, he will win this $10,000. Not for him; it's going to go for charity, and then he's going to throw in another $2,500 on top of that if he wins. So, follow John where, John?
On Twitter at Athletics Lawyer, Facebook is Know the Lawyer. You can vote without leaving your email address or any identifying information. It's just, it's fairly easy. And like you said, Capital One's kicking $10,000 to the winner to donate to charity, and we're going to add $2,500. So it's going to help us help others. It just takes about 5 seconds. And there's a lot of people cheating in it, so we need all the Lex and Terry listeners and all the givers to help us out.
Y'all get on there and cheat too. Let's win this thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you want to go to, Lex?
I think Scott's call looks okay on line 6.
Let's try it, and we'll work up.
Sober Scott.
Oh, you don't sound sober, Scott.
I'm as sober can get.
Oh goodness.
No, I have not drank. Actually, today, 25th of May, is when I went to my detox, so it's actually been a month.
Congratulations.
And you already have legal problems. Awesome. What do you want?
I'm curious as to how important the Miranda rights are. I got arrested a few years ago, and I just saw something on the news where somebody got out of something for not getting read their rights. And I was arrested a few years ago and never got read my rights. So I was just curious as to how much weight that holds.
You were S-faced 2 years ago. You may have been read your rights.
Well, yes, I was a little bit messed up at the time.
Yeah, well.
So how do you know?
Yeah. Because I remember him asking me the questions, but he never told me the right to remain silent or any of that.
During your lack of sober time, which was like all the time, do you remember everything?
Pretty vividly. When you're pulled over on the side of the interstate with what I had with me, yeah, it was a sobering experience.
No, I mean through your whole drunken time, do you remember everything?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then.
John, how did we close? We were like attorneys right there, weren't we, John?
You did. Lex just got the award, so he's that's fantastic. The issue there really is you've got to challenge it. I mean, just for the other people out there, you've got to challenge it contemporaneously at the same time as your case. You can't go back and say, 5 years ago I was convicted of murder and they didn't do this. You've got to get it involved in the process at the time. And the question was, what was it that he had in his car?
Yeah, well, who knows?
He may not even have been in a car. Who knows with this guy? I mean, that's kind of the thing,
Yeah.
It's like I truly believe his Miranda rights were read to him. That's what I think.
Let's get your calls coming in right now at 866-977-3687. Attorney John Phillips with us. Let's go to Mike in Ocala, Florida. Mike, you're on Lex and Terry.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want?
I know growing marijuana is illegal, but what is the limit at which they will seize your property and home?
Oh.
The limit of which they will seize your property and home.
Right.
To
I'm
the
pretty
extent
sure
your
one
home
plant
is
you can get
used, sorry.
Go
To
ahead,
the
John.
extent that your home is used to cultivate marijuana, they can seize your property and home. If you've got, if you've got a bag in your table, they can't, that's not tied in. But to the extent that you're using it to sell and otherwise cultivate, I guess vice versa, cultivate and sell marijuana, that's where you're putting your property
But wouldn't
in
they have
serious
to prove
jeopardy.
you're trying to sell it versus just growing it for your own?
If you're growing it, that's probably enough in the state of Florida. But the
Move to
seizure
Oregon.
aspect is troublesome. It's more difficult to seize somebody's property, especially their homestead, rather than just put them in jail. So a lot of times they won't go to that next step.
Forget the legal stuff. Diversify your assets. Put them in offshore accounts. Therefore, there's nothing to get. We all know you're going to grow it and sell it. Let's be real.
No,
horses,
not that kind of op, but just small
We
scale.
need that Judge Llewellyn music.
Yeah.
Mike is in the weeds. All right.
Mike's
you,
lost
Mike.
all
Get
his
out of
property, and now his finances are in the weeds.
No, Jay, questions like that, John. How can I break the law? Basically, is what this guy's asking.
Yeah, and I hope that wasn't his real name. But especially in a small town,
Yeah.
Edgar in Palatka wants to know, and the police are knocking on Edgar's door 20 minutes later.
Yeah. So if he's that stupid, too bad for him.
Yeah, this is true. But it's tough. It's if you're worried about, if you're doing so much wrong that you're worried about losing your house, it should be a bit of a wake up call that maybe you got to do something different. But
yeah,
it keeps me in business. The personal injury, people being dumb and hurting people, and people being dumb and getting in trouble.
People being people, huh, John?
Absolutely, we all do it.
Hey, here's one close to our heart. Let's see if we can get to him real quick. Rick, quickly in Savannah, go.
Yeah, man. I did a job for these guys, man, and they're not won't pay me for the work I've done. The work is done well. There's nothing wrong with the job, but they can't even come up with an excuse why they won't pay me.
John?
How much are we talking about?
Well, it's actually only about, they probably owe me about $3,000 or $4,000. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's enough where I got a crew that's been working out there, man. I got guys that I got to pay.
All right. We only have
Small
a few
claims
seconds.
court is your friend right there. You can get it. You can file a claim against them for about $300, $400, and the judge will tell them they owe you, and they can liquidate assets if they don't, as long as they don't bankrupt out of it.
So I go to small claims court because I thought about it.
Yeah, okay, quit yelling. Yeah, small claims court. We only have God.
What do you got? One of those megaphones up against your phone or something?
Man?
Jesus Christ.
You know what I hate? I hate when companies have a deal with somebody and then they don't pay them. It just bugs me to death.
Not as much as we do.
Maybe you should have had an agreement in writing.
Yeah.
Even then, they don't want to pay. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with one final segment with John. You can call us at 866-977-DUS. Some doozies up there now. God, we got some losers who listen to the show. God bless you.
This is Lex and Terry.